him. Where in the due diligence did this all fall apart?
I baffled. I was kidding. I said, send me there. I would have seen this in 2 seconds. Like, you have a bunch of kids that are in one small office. Do you know how understaffed they were? They lacked even the proper personnel. Like, forget it, that each of them were incompetent to themselves. They were missing probably 100 or 200 employees that would just you normally have as controls and checks and balances. I don't think there was even a chief financial officer, I heard. And the whole thing literally defies logic. I do not understand how some of the biggest hedge funds in the world, or VCs in the world, simply ignored what are obviously blaring warning signs.
Hey guys, welcome back to Library of Wealth. Today we have Jordan Belfort, aka the Wolf of Wall Street, giving us his take on the collapse of FTX and the damage it's caused to the crypto market. Belfort outlines what effect the FTX bankruptcy is having on the confidence and credibility in the industry. He believes the implosion of FTX is a negative event in the short term, especially with consumers being hurt financially and having most of their digital assets wiped out. Belfort will talk about Sam Bankman-Fried's history of fraudulent behavior and how even he was shocked by this. He discusses that a significant amount of inexperience also led to many of FTX's internal problems, which led to such a massive collapse. Let's check out this interview with Jordan Belfort as he talks about what went wrong with FTX and what effect this will have on Bitcoin and the crypto market. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content we do here on this channel. Let's get right into the video.
So first of all, a couple of misconceptions about FTX. And this is like the crypto world has got a strange way of putting labels and calling things things that they're not. Like, FTX, in my mind, is not an exchange. It's a brokerage firm, or, it's really a self-clearing brokerage firm. Like, it holds customer funds like a brokerage firm. And what he did was really simple and straightforward. He essentially advertised, hey, we're this great brokerage firm. Come deposit your money with us and, trade you through us. Like, say that you deposit at Charles Schwab or Ameritrade, right? It's a brokerage firm. And you put your money there and, we'll go to JP Morgan Chase, deposit your money in the bank, and then you find out, oh, wait, Jamie Dimon is actually taking your money and going to Vegas on the weekends. He's just like, doesn't respect that it's your account. Oh, your account, my account's one big account. And he just takes the money. That's really what FTX was. It was not an exchange. It's a brokerage firm where they commingled funds and they took the money and just, spent it on, some lavish expenditures, but also they lost a lot of money just being lousy traders. They were committing fraud there, clearly. I'm comfortable saying that right now at this point, that they were commingling funds without telling customers, which is blatant fraud, prima facie fraud, right? And I don't see any way he can say he wasn't aware of it. It was like done purposely to shore up the balance sheet of Alameda, which was bleeding cash, right? So the question really is, how many bad actors are there at exchange? You don't know. You just don't know. And that's why people are saying, prove that you have your reserves. The only exception, I would say, is probably Coinbase as a, listed reports to the SEC. I'd be shocked to find out that Coinbase was insolvent. I mean, that would be really shocking to me. But these ones that are offshore, they don't report. There's no way of knowing what they're actually doing. This is a huge problem right now in the whole crypto world. So whether it's just FTX or it's many of them, I'm sure there's more. They also, because they all invest in each other and borrow from each other and leverage. There's a lot of that. I guess it's a house of, cards and mirrors at the same time, where they pump up the values. They issue their own tokens and one person buys another. It's insane, right? It really is Tombstone. So until all of this winds down, there's going to be a lot more blood in the streets for sure. And then the SEC, at least somebody's got to come in and pass really, I think, some significantly strict laws here to bring some order to the chaos.
And Jordan, you've labeled FTX as a frat house, but you have to wonder, you had institutional investors also investing with him. Where in the due diligence did this all fall apart?
I baffled. I was kidding. I said, send me there. I would have seen this in 2 seconds. Like, you have a bunch of kids that are in one small office. Do you know how understaffed they were? They lacked even the proper personnel. like, forget it, that each of them are incompetent to themselves. They were missing probably 100 or 200 employees that would just you normally have as controls and checks and balances. I don't think there was even a chief financial officer, I heard. And the whole thing literally defies logic. I do not understand how some of the biggest hedge funds in the world, or VCs in the world, simply ignored what are obviously blaring warning signs. Not that it's a fraud. See, it's very hard to find out if someone's, trying to defraud you. It's very difficult. But just to see that all the earmarks of a fraud are there, and then you dig further, and then you could find the fraud when you dig into the accounting. Number one, I think 99.99% of these tokens and coins are securities, and they should be regulated as such. Bitcoin, I don't believe is a security. Bitcoin truly is a commodity or a property, whatever you want to call it. It's decentralized. So I think that's a very different thing. Ethereum as well. But outside of those two, and again, there's probably a few others in there, but I don't really own any of the others because I own those too. The only things I own. I have some small stuff, but that's my own, right? That I never sold, and it's just speculative investments. But the point is that I really believe that the SEC should be regulating this no different than they regulate the stock market. You also, to really make this work, you need to have the same way you have like the FDIC for banks, SPIC for brokerage firms. There needs to be some insurance mechanism in place that when these they're not exchange, when these brokerage firms fail that are holding customer funds, there's at least some insurance in place that allows the people to be made whole. That's what stops U.S. bank runs. That's what brings a lot of order to the market. For example, back in 2008, when I remember IndyMac was going under and WAMU, Marsh Mutual, no one was worried. You never worried that you weren't going to get your money. The government backed it up, right? So the whole government would have to fail. So I think that's a problem. People say, oh, the government should be involved. The government needs to be involved because there's got to be some buyer of last resort, some person to backstop all this, or else it's going to be the same story again and again and again.
The crash in Bitcoin has also been a significant event in the crypto space as well, but with major players like Ethereum still intact, FTX hasn't phased the dominant crypto assets. Belfort says the real victim in the downfall of FTX is the crypto industry as a whole. He feels because SBF lied to investors and took steps to hide what he was doing, he should be held personally liable. With many people calling Bankman-Fried the Jordan Belfort of crypto, it's no wonder he would be trying to cast that shadow back onto SBF. With the final deal getting subsequently scrapped and FTX filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, this sent shockwaves to the crypto and wider financial ecosystem. Looking ahead, Belfort says even given the size of the FTX debacle, this should push even further adoption of Bitcoin. With BTC price suppression ongoing in light of the FTX crash, an already bearish trend has only strengthened. However, many crypto analysts believe that Bitcoin's ability to hold current price levels in the face of a major black swan event show that popular cryptocurrency is conveying strength. Jordan believes the coming crypto regulations are even more important than even supply and demand issues. This is because the benchmarks that are being designed is what all risk will be conversely priced against. He says we now have the power to price risk, which will have an impact no one expects. Belfort says the benchmarks will be a massive freedom for institutions and pension funds as long as crypto regulations are involved as well. He believes the regulations have had a bigger influence than anything in the market since the introduction of Ethereum and stablecoins. What do you think about Jordan Belfort's take on the collapse of FTX and where the crypto market is headed next? Comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.